La Chaux-de-Fonds is not a tourist town. Its location, 1,000 meters up in the Jura mountains, one of Switzerland's most scenic regions, means the air is crisp. The clouds are close and the mountain peaks are closer. It's packed full of low-key attractions, including many surprisingly stealthy Art Nouveau apartment block lobbies, none of which look like you can just walk into, but all of which you can, and the tucked-away, abstract chrome monument dedicated to Louis Chevrolet, the motor company founding race car driver who was born and raised here in the 1870s and 80s. The father of literary modernism, poet and filmmaker Blaise Cendrars, was born on one of the streets facing Chevrolet's monument 4 months earlier. Le Corbusier, the father of architectural modernism, who was also born and raised in La Chaux-de-Fonds about a decade after Chevrolet and Cendrars. For any other town of 37,000 residents, this would be more than enough to build a tidy tourist business on. But La Chaux-de-Fonds is a practical, hard-working town and not much for showing off. It made sense, then, that I'd never heard of this town before arriving. And I certainly had no idea that it's where the world's most expensive watches are made. More than that, La Chaux-de-Fonds is essentially the watchmaking capital of the world, home to the workshops or corporate headquarters of Rolex and Patek Philippe, Tissot and Garrard-Perregaux, Opel and Omega, many of which were founded here. Messrs. Vacheron and Breguet, two of the first men to make a success of Swiss watchmaking, started their workshops in the middle of the 18th century in Geneva, but La Chaux-de-Fonds, about 150 kilometers to the northeast, is where Swiss watchmaking became the world standard. It was here that Daniel Jean Richard, 1665–1741, the region's first watchmaker, developed a system of apprenticeship and cultivated watchmaking as a local cottage industry. As early as 1867, Karl Marx held up the town and its system as an example of efficient industrialization in his seminal work Das Kapital, saying that in his day, this small town was producing 5 times the number of watches than in all Geneva's workshops combined. Today, La Chaux-de-Fonds remains the administrative, and in many ways the spiritual, heart of the Swiss watch industry.